Hey everybody, David R. Becker here with Becker Art, and in today's video newsletter, we're talking about the soft and hard edges of watercolor. I've been working so hard with all of you these last 6 weeks on learning how to work wet into wet. Basically, when the paper is wet and you're putting pigment into the puddle of water, that's how you get soft edges, right? And also to get hard edges, you just need to work on dry paper, right? So hard edges and soft edges, I've been working really hard to make you understand and how to do that in watercolor, because it's good to know how to do wet into wet and wet on dry. Wet on dry gives you hard edges, wet into wet gives you soft edges. And let me show you how you use this now in composition, in the composition form. So if you're looking at a photo like this and you're looking to compose it and want to make your center of interest a certain area, there's many different ways of doing that when it comes to making your painting or your photograph have a center of interest at a certain point in a certain area, and sometimes you can do that with soft and hard edges. So this, we could make any part of this painting, we could make a center of interest. We could make the guy here on the right over here. We can make him the center of interest. We can make this guy the center of interest. We can make the background the center of interest and make these guys. And how do you do that? Well, you do that with soft and hard edges. And you can also compose with values. But today I just want to talk about a little bit about how you use your soft and hard edges to compose and help you compose your picture. So what I can do first off, I want to show you that a lot of times what I do is I change all my pictures to black and white to see where the composition between the lights and darks are at. Not about the soft or hard edges at first. And so sometimes I look for this basically for first off, I try to see where those big lights and darks are going to be at, right? And so that way, a lot of times you can tell right away where your center of interest is going to be, where you want your center of interest to be, because it would be this guy right here. This guy right here would be my center of interest, right? This area of interest. Sometimes it's not just a single thing, it's an area. So that would be basically my center of interest if I'm doing this based on the lights and darks of something, of the values, right? And so that's for the light and darks of the values. But now let's take this away again and look at our picture. Now, what if I didn't want that part to be our center of interest? What if I want to do something soft-edged or blur something out? And you can do that because I've taught you how to blur an edge and how to make a soft edges, right? So let's say we want to have that guy center of interest, but with blurring parts. So look at how I blurred this side, and now this person is not very harsh, sharp edged, and a lot of the values are closer together. So that pushes that person to this side, and again makes the area of interest this area. That would be the center of interest then. And that was done with soft edges to the right and sharp edges to the left. And so that's one way you could do it. Let's say I don't want to do that way. Let's say I want to do it where I make that person the center of interest, which is kind of a weird thing to do because he's on the corner of the page, so you probably wouldn't do that. But look at how I blurred this side now. I blurred this, I blurred this guy, and I blurred this area to give you away from the center of interest. Look at how suddenly my eye shifts over here to where it's hard-edged and to where it's crisp. And also you got a lot of contrast over here where this is blurry. And so now this doesn't become the center of interest, right? This is more the center of interest, and that's done just by soft and hard edges. What if we want to make it the center? So now we just blur both these guys, and look at how now the center is your area of interest, where everything is out of focus. And so it's so important to learn how to do out of focus when you're painting, so that you do wet into wet and learning how to compose with soft edges and hard edges along with your contrasts between lights and darks. So if I made this guy over here blurry like this and I made him less contrasty, then it would even be more where I wouldn't look at him. I wouldn't look at this area. I would look at this area because this is what's in focus now, and most of our contrast is in there. So with contrast and with blurred soft and hard edges, that's the way you can manipulate your eye to go to certain areas. Because when you blur something and make something out of focus, you don't really look at it as much as you look at something that's in focus, right? And so again, with our black, and then you can also do cropping. And so one of the ways you could do a picture like this is crop it so that person is more in your in your thirds, right? The golden thirds or whatever here. This guy now is right in where the center of interest would be. I could blur the background too, and I could blur the right, or I can just crop. I crop this photo in so that you get a little bit farther to the right. You eliminate all this stuff on the right, and now this guy is definitely going to be your center of interest. And all hard edged, no softness. I could blur this area here too to again make this even more of the center of interest. So this is why I've been trying to teach you how to do soft and hard edges. It's so important to learn that. A lot of people don't use soft and hard edges, and so the way they do it is with contrast, with having a less contrast. Like if that guy was really light against a light background, then you wouldn't have as much contrast. So there's many different ways of composing your picture, but one way is definitely hard and soft edges, and which I've been showing you right here. So again, in the beginning, I showed you this. And so there's many ways I could take this. I could crop it. I soften hard edges. I can go through it really quickly again. This is the right side being out of focus, which you could do when you crop too. Then I did the left side out of focus, and then have the right in the focus. Then we have the center in focus and everything else out of focus. And then, of course, cropping. And then, of course, black and white, which we then can look at as a value composition when you're using the value. So the whole left side is light and the whole right side is dark. And that along with maybe blurring an area, it also helps. So that's the reason I've been working so hard with you on learning how to do soft edges. It's very important, and it's very easy to blur something and keep it out of focus and not have to make it look really perfect in your photograph. Like a photograph a lot of times has so many things in focus that everything is in focus, and then everything has an importance. So sometimes when you don't want to have something an important thing, like again, if you do the side, I like this when you're doing in this side here, see where the left side or the right side here with the guy is out of focus. You can put him in or take him out, but I like to have him in there. But if you just put him out of focus, it'll look perfectly composed because it's still there. He's still there, but he's not very important. It's very blurry, right? And that's how photographers do and compose their pictures, is they blur certain things. They may blur the background. But us that are not photographers, when we take a picture with our standard phones, everything's in focus, right? Everything becomes in focus, and then it looks like everything has an importance. So learn to take your compositions and blur things out, or simplify your black and white of the photo so that you're not putting every single little thing in there. You could do that, and that would be hyperrealism, but then it's going to look like a really tight photograph like you take. But I like being, as an artist, I like to simplify things and put things out of focus and make things so that your center of interest becomes your center of interest. All right, so again, learn how to do wet into wet and wet on dry. Wet on dry gives you a hard edge, wet into wet gives you a soft edge, and just keep on practicing that, because this is the reason I'm wanting you to learn how to do soft and hard edges. All right, so I'll see you on Thursday when we'll be doing a paint along that has a lot of soft edges and some hard edges. So you have to be able to do both. All right, so we'll see you on Thursday. See you then. Bye-bye.